Hello, this is Peter Coffeen, still a member of Norfolk Artists and Friends, an organization of professional artists living and working in the Norfolk area, along with friends from New Hartford, Sheffield, Massachusetts, and for this exhibition, 2 guest artists from New York City. Our group has been sponsored for 12 years by the Norfolk Chamber Music Festival, with an annual August exhibition at the Battelle-Steckel Gallery on the grounds of the Yale campus in Norfolk. Sadly, this past summer we had no music and no art. But the art part changed in the fall when the Norfolk Library Associates graciously invited us to hold ongoing exhibits at the beautiful Norfolk Library, under social distancing conditions during the pandemic. This video welcomes you to the library to have a virtual look at the work of 20 artists and hear a bit about each work through statements by the artists themselves. So come along inside and have a look. Our first work is by Edward Colt. It's a 16 by 13 oil painting, and it's titled COVID. COVID terrorizes all of us, particularly the elderly. My painting expresses this universal nightmare. Our second work is by one of our guest artists, Sarah Montague. It's an acrylic on canvas. It's 18 by 24, and it's titled Flowers, number 26. Sarah says, inspired by travel and the bold colors of Morocco, Nepal, Brazil, and the Caribbean, my playful flowers and oceanscapes express that vibrant energy. Number 3 is a work by Ronald J Sloan. It's an acrylic, 15 by 19, and it's titled Arthur's Bike. Ronald says, the sound I heard was my shadow growing older. Tomorrow I will hold its hands and take it close to me. Next is another one of our guest artists, Robert A. Rips, and he has presented a digital image, printed as a dye sublimation on aluminum substrate. It's titled Untitled, and it's 20 by 30 inches. Robert says everything seems to be about negativity, division, falsehoods, disorientation about how the surface of things can be 180 degrees opposite from what is underneath. Next, we have Laura Lasker. She's giving us an acrylic, 18 by 20, and it's titled Parrot. And Laura says, in these dark days of winter, when we can't retreat to a tropical place, we can bring the tropics to us. Good idea. Number 6 is by Hilary Van Wright. It's a cut paper piece. It's 12 by 16, and it's called The Eagle. Hilary says the raven was inspired by a larger full-body commission. I hope to explore the energy of indigenous art using modern tools in the year ahead. Next is a work by Susanna Anderson. It's a diptych acrylic on canvas, 22 by 14, and its title is Still Life, Life Still. Susanna says a picture of kale reflects zinnias and hydrangeas, reflective of our time. The unknown surrounds the determination of life with an abstract space for contemplation. Number 8 is by Pamela Arnold. It's a watercolor, 18 by 18, titled Dennis Hill. Pamela says fundamental to my work is an interest in the connection between people and nature. I wish to invoke that deeper sense of shared humanity. Our next artist is Tom Hloss. And he has presented us with a mixed media collage on paper. It's 15 by 12, and it's titled Sweet Memories. Like rereading an old letter from a loved one, the memory is sweet, though yellowed with time. Work number 10 is by Janet K. Marks. It's a hand-wrought necklace, and it's 34 inches. It's made of clusters of faceted chalcedony briolets with sterling silver spaced amid luster gem quiche pearls, symbolizing hopeful blue skies over wintry landscapes. And it can be worn doubled. Up next is Karen Linden. She has given us an oil. It's 11 by 14. It's titled Signs of Spring. Karen says, when watching for emerging signs of spring, my favorites are the bright spears of iris in blues and greens, and then the lovely fringed blossoms. Number 12 is a photograph by Bruce Frisch. It's 17 by 12, titled 3 Lady Slippers. Bruce says that for 50 years, whenever lady slippers bloom through the spring forest floor with their translucent pink pouches and fuzzy green leaves, I plant my tripod. Number 13 is a work by Turi Rosted. It's called Sunday Afternoon, and it's 24 by 18 inches, a watercolor, about which Turi says, art is a journey, onward. Keep moving. I said that, not Turi. Number 14 is by Harveyimmelman. It's an oil on canvas, 18 by 24, and its title is Wind on the Mill Pond. Harvey is a plein air painter, acting under the spell of life, light, and color to create the atmosphere he's feeling before him. Next we have Jean Grasmere. It's an oil painting, 16 by 20, and its title is Meadow. Jean says that a meadow was once a field, or a bog, or a forest, a habitat for ever-changing wildlife and plants. I just like the wildflowers. Number 16 is a work by Anita Holmes. It's a photograph. It's called Pigs in the Clouds, and it's 11 by 14. A bit of mischief for troubled times. This photo was not edited with Photoshop magic. Rather, the pig was shot against a bright sky enlargement. Thanks, Anita. You've given us proof that pigs do fly. Next is a work by Feomira. It's a wood construction, 16 by 5. Its title is 6 or 7. Faye says, my work combines the irregularities of aged found wood with the refined qualities of milled wood. I love 3D work. I'm a tinkerer at heart. Next is a linocut by Susan Brood. It's 24 by 30. It's titled Head Above the Rest. Susan says linocuts, like life stories, can be combined, examined, and retold. They may change from positive to negative and back again. Our next to last work is by Ruth Ann Olsen. It's an acrylic on canvas, 36 by 36 inches, and it's titled Dragon Fury, and it's part of the Look Up series. Suddenly, a dragon appeared in the sky. He looks upset. Maybe he sees how we take Mother Earth for granted. That must be it. Our last work is by Gillian Dworth. It's an oil on panel, 24 by 24 inches, titled Seedlings. This oil painting, arriving during the winter months, looks toward spring's inevitable verdant growth, a new start above and below the horizon. Thank you all for joining us on this brief tour of the work of Norfolk artists and friends, plus special guests, now at the Norfolk Library. And you're most welcome to visit safely in person for a more leisurely look. It's warm in here.